Anonymous Watch Guy here, really excited about today's video, but of course, first, a quick wrist check. We're in the Citizen ProMaster Eco Drive Diver today. Cool watch, but today I have an awesome watch. Finally got my hands on the brand new 38mm Hamilton Khaki Field Murph. Of course, this watch was prominently featured in the 2014 science fiction epic by Christopher Nolan, Interstellar. Two awesome Hamilton watches in that movie. Of course, the Cooper, worn by Matthew McConaughey's character, and the Murph that he gave to his daughter Murph, that he later used to communicate with her in the film via Morse code through space and time. Really cool movie. One of the best science fiction movies ever made, in my opinion. Definitely recommend checking out Interstellar if you've never seen it. And this is a really awesome watch. Let's take a closer look at the specifications. This is a 38mm watch. It's 44.5 millimeters lug tip to lug tip. You do have a 20mm lug opening. Just over 11 millimeters thick according to my measurement. You do have a push-pull crown there at the 3 o'clock position that is signed with the Hamilton logo. Gives you 100 meters water resistance. And of course, you do have a sapphire crystal with anti-reflective treatment. Gives you a nice shot of that dial there. Kind of a matte black dial on this one. This is running the Hamilton H10 movement, which is a modified ETA 2824. Being that Hamilton is owned by Swatch Group, you get an ETA movement. Of course, that gives you 80 hours power reserve. It's your Powermatic 80. Also has the Nivacron balance spring, the silicone material that gives you some anti-magnetic properties as well. So killer specs on this one. These do come in at $895 for full retail. That's $100 less than the 42mm version of the Murph. And this watch is pretty much identical to that one outside of the size. And of course, the 42mm Murph has Eureka in Morse code printed in lacquer on the seconds hand. This watch does not have that. Those would be the only differences in the watch. Other than that, this one is identical as far as looks to the Murph used in the film. Really nice looking watch. I definitely like that black dial. You get kind of your kind of faux Tina or old radium style looking printing on the dial. Got a printed on minute track going around the outside there. All of your Arabics are printed on and they are all loomed. You have your Hamilton logo there just beneath the 12 o'clock position. Khaki and automatic printed there above the 6 o'clock position. Of course, Swiss made down there at the bottom as well. A really nice looking cathedral style handset on this one. Definitely like cathedral hands. I think those are a nice touch. Gives it kind of a old school or vintage looking feel to the watch, along with the printing that kind of goes hand in hand. Really nice lume on the handset. Maybe not quite as good on the Arabics. We'll take a look at the lume towards the end of the video. But a really nice looking watch. Always been a fan of this watch. I do have a larger wrist, so the 42mm might be better for me. But this is definitely a watch, if you have a smaller wrist, that you would probably go for the 38. I also like that it's no date. There is not a ghost date position. You just have one position on your push-pull crown there, which is nice as well. Got kind of a high polish bezel, kind of a fixed high polish bezel. And then you've got some nice brushing, kind of radial brushing on top of your lugs. Some nice brushing on the sides of the case. Very nicely finished watch, very appropriately finished watch, I think, for the price point. Of course, Hamilton, it is a great kind of entry-level Swiss mechanical watch brand. And this is a very nicely finished watch. Looks really good. I do have it on a different strap. We'll take a look at some strap options on this watch as well. Back of the watch here, you do have a display case back. You've got a custom Hamilton rotor on that H10. Again, modified ETA movement there. You also got the Hamilton logo there on the movement itself. You've got some specs printed around the back of the case. I've got a Nevada Grenchen leather strap on here right now. The watch does come on kind of this faux croc looking leather strap with a white stitch. It does have a Hamilton signed buckle on it, but this isn't the world's greatest strap that it comes on. I would imagine most people might take it off this strap. It is kind of a stiff strap. It does have some comfortable kind of leather on the back of the strap. I think it probably looks nice on this strap, but probably not the greatest strap in the world. This watch is on loan from Mr. Random Rob. It is on tour in his private Discord group, and I put it on this Nevada Grenchen leather strap. We will take a look at the watch on a few different straps on my wrist. I'm also going to do some size comparisons here with other watches as well. So let's take a look at that here real quick. Here is a look at the watch next to a 42 millimeter Hamilton Khaki Field. Now this Hamilton Khaki Field has pretty similar dimensions to the 42 millimeter Murph, and you can see it as quite a bit larger. This watch has an over 50 millimeter lug to lug, and this one is under 45. So you can see that there is a pretty significant size difference between the 38 millimeter Hamilton and the 42 millimeter Hamilton. So again, if you have a smaller wrist, you probably want to opt for the 38 millimeter version. I do on the 42 millimeter Khaki Field, and if I were purchasing the watch, I would probably get the 42 millimeter version. But this is just to kind of illustrate the difference in size between the two watches. Here's the watch next to the Nevada Grenchen Depth Master, the watch that I had the strap on the strap I had on the watch was from the Depth Master. You can see they are very similarly sized, the Depth Master being a vintage-inspired reissue watch, also a 38 millimeter watch. Pretty darn close in size on those two. So you definitely got some kind of vintage style specs as far as the dimensions on the 38 millimeter Murph. Here it is next to the 36 millimeter Nevada Data Master. I'm also going to show you the watch on the strap from the Data Master. You can see, again, pretty similar size to that watch. The Murph is a little bit larger, but again, it just kind of gives you an idea that this 38 millimeter Murph is definitely a smaller watch, much smaller than the 42 millimeter version. Here's a look at the lume on the watch. Not sure if it's C3, but it does have a nice kind of green glow. You can see all of your Arabics are lumed. The lume on the handset is a little bit stronger than on the numerals, but I think the lume is decent. I know some people have said that they were a little underwhelmed with the lume. I don't know that it's super long lasting, but I think it looks pretty good. Here's a look at the watch on my 7.5-inch wrist. This is on the Nevada Grenchen Depth Master leather strap. You can see it wears very nicely. Here's your down the barrel shot. You can see that there's definitely plenty of space on my wrist, as I do have a little bit of a larger wrist. And this is going to be wear very nicely on a much smaller wrist than mine. Again, I would probably prefer the 42 millimeter version, but the 38 millimeter version does look nice. Here's a look at the watch on an Artem sailcloth strap. This strap probably needs to be broken in a little bit more. Artem makes really, really awesome straps. You can see it looks really good on a kind of a navy blue sailcloth strap as well. Again, there's your down the barrel shot. You can see plenty of space on my wrist, and your lugs do curve down. Looks really good on this strap as well. And here it is on kind of the vintage racing inspired leather from the Data Master. Again, looks really good on this strap as well. With your 20 millimeter lug opening, this watch will be what they call a strap monster. You can put just about any kind of strap on here, and it's going to look pretty darn good. And this watch is definitely a winner. I think this one's a home run for Hamilton. The 38 millimeter Hamilton Khaki Field Murph. If you liked the video, give me a like, maybe subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching.